Hi, my fellow Virgos. Welcome to your reading for November 2020. This is for Virgo Sun, Moon, or Rising. Those intuitively guided to your channel. There's Leo saying hi. You may have planets in the sign or Virgo. You may be in love with a Virgo. We're not easy to love, I think. I am a Virgo, so but we are lovable. We can be. The Fool just jumped out, so this may be about a new beginning for someone. I'm not taking them yet because we haven't cut the cards. So they're just peeking out. Anyways, guys, we're going to start with the major arcanas. We're going to try to shoot for 3. It hasn't been turning out that way. And we're going to take whatever comes out. It's a very open reading. You can certainly ask your guides for illumination for whatever messages are yours, if not all of them. And remember, they can show up a little different, but you'll get it. I feel like you'll just get it. Especially if those have been with me for a while. And I don't feel like you need to be with me for long before I can start feeling your energy. So leave comments in that. I love that because then I almost feel like who it's for. And many of you, we're all very much like-minded, and that's, I feel like, why we found each other. Anyway, enough talking. We have the Magician. And I do feel like the Magician is meant to be in the middle. We have Judgment. Judgment's looking at the Magician. Almost given, the Judgment is a call to attention. We have the one card that came down, and that is the Empress. We have the Hangman on the bottom of the deck. So this is where I'm stopping myself from doing something. It can be for any reason. Sometimes it is for I'm seeking more wisdom about something. So Judgment talks about your ancestors, right? It's almost like a measure of time. It's about a new beginning, a rebirth, really, a rebirth. And the Magician is the creator here, looking right over at the Empress. The Empress, to me, feels very, very well off, I suppose. But I feel like holds nothing back at the same time. Okay, let's keep going. Let's add in our next deck. Figure out why this Magician is fixated on this Empress. Feels like he's being called to look at this Empress, to see her. This could in some way be a teacher that you find yourself in front of. And when I say teacher, it doesn't have to be like from school. Just be someone who teaches you something, whether it be something very quickly, or whether it takes a lifetime to learn it. But I feel like this is not talking about that. This is talking about something that comes to you quickly through the energy of the Magician. So it's really you creating it, right? The Hangman. We have the energy of no, and we have the energy of go. Okay, let's break this down. Let's figure this out. we have the Emperor. Interesting. So we have the Emperor and the Empress. And the Emperor and the Empress have come out together now. They came out in Leo's reading. But they came connected in maybe Taurus's reading. Aries reading. No, I don't think it was Aries. Anyway, how interesting that this couple keeps coming out. Now, I know it's not the same people. What it talks about is two people's energies. You know, I feel like when you move into this type of energy, this is, and it is asking about, you know, the willingness, or it's time, right? It's time to have some type of rebirth, right? Where before it was this way, and this can talk about these two people together. Well, let's keep going with High Priestess. We have the Four of Swords, which tells me something required healing. Coming out very slow, but I feel like it's meant to. So it's interesting. I feel like this Empress up here may be the creator. And I feel like this Emperor down here, now this may be different people again. I feel like this Emperor down here is now moving into the energy, the opposite of the Hangman. And that is someone who's trained, or who is trusting their intuition. I feel it's almost like, you know, the Empress doing mind tricks on the Emperor. And I don't really mean mind tricks, but it's energy. And this comes through the Emperor's intuition, right? Now, looking at that way, being pulled that way. Like some of you are even sending a healing to someone. You know what they've been through, or they're trying to send you a healing. For some of you, it may be your mother who has crossed over, and she may be helping to heal not just someone's heart, but also their mind. Hence, I think why the High Priestess is following this Emperor. Let's keep going. We have the Two of Wands. So here we go. Judgment, same. Call to attention. Two of Wands is preparing to begin a journey. We have the Eight of Swords. Not so good. But we do have the Ace of Wands. It's almost like your head versus your intuition here. But the Ace of Wands comes under the High Priestess, so I feel like that's what wins. But there is this fear element that exists within this Emperor, which can be created walls. Which, excuse me, I just need to get more comfortable. Which can mean they've created ways of being to responding, all that. You know, I felt the Emperor in many of the readings was learning more about their faith in some way, and this may be in a spiritual level, or at least trusting in it. So I think a lot of the emperors, that can just represent men who are ready, you know, are having awakenings, at least awareness. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Strength card clearly flipped itself around, so it's in reverse. This is not feeling one's own power, one's own strength. Maybe, you know, feeling I can't tame these thoughts. There's a lot of swords here now with the Eight of Swords. 8, there's 12. You know, but if we really count them, there's 11, and one you're laying on, which is looking at oneself, I feel. Anyway, the energy of Mother Mary, but also of some of you, your mother, helping to heal you because whichever one, the Empress or the Empress or the Emperor, um, though the Eight of Swords exists closer to the Emperor, you know, I don't know, maybe lost their way. Look at this. We have the Ten of Cups. So, interesting. So we have the Two of Wands right above that Ten of Cups. What does that tell me? That tells me that this is the beginning. Even if this is about with someone I've already known. Now, is it love? It doesn't have to be. But the Ten of Cups represents, you know, true harmony and happiness and joy. It's a real light type of energy, and that's what's feeding this Two of Wands. Some of you may be leaving home and be starting on a journey. And I feel like maybe the mom, maybe dad is here. I feel like you taught them well. So they're well prepared. They're well prepared. Hmm. Let's take 4 more. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot. I cannot take all those, but I do notice the Ace of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. I just cannot take all of them. I don't have room on the table for all of them. And my guides know that, so. Human error. Okay. We have the Prince of Wands. We have the Devil, card of Capricorn, which I feel has been in every single reading. You know, we got Leo reversed. So I could talk about a way a Leo was. Maybe they still are, but we have healing above that. So I feel like, you know, it could be someone who's all about themselves, what have you. You know, always needed the light on them. They needed to be the center of attention. Um, you know, maybe only came through time and experience the becoming responsible. And for some of you, you may be questioning whether to make this official with someone who maybe is not completely. Maybe they are tied some way, somehow, to something that's, you know, maybe of a negative factor. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Swords on the top, the Four of Pentacles on the bottom is the supporting energy for this Strength card in reverse. Strength card is about being able to tame our own thoughts, being able to overcome any challenge, really any challenge. You know, it's the connection as above, so below. This tells me this is a connection of, you know, many journeys traveled. I'm looking at that Ace of Wands, and I feel like this Ace of Wands comes because of courage and perseverance, that type of energy. You know, and maybe someone got swayed off that track. Maybe they got swayed, you know, persuaded off that track. I don't know. I don't know. Um, you know, maybe an opportunity came, and through that opportunity, um, you know, we have the Hierophant. Interesting. Card of Taurus. And then we have the Chariot. So Chariot comes out with the Hierophant. So the Hierophant really looks at one's belief system, and it's looking at the belief system of the people in this Ten of Cups, whether this was, is, or will be. The Hierophant is the reminder of your own belief system, and not being persuaded off of it. Now, being open always to learning more, right? Because the Two of Wands feels like it can be a new journey, right? It can be a new journey here. Definitely feels like there can be a new journey here. I feel like, I feel like if anybody here, I don't know if anybody, but let's just say, I feel like the Emperor is the one who carries some baggage, right? And it feels like it's more mental than anything. He may be the one who needs to, this may be the Hangman energy, right? Allowing the healing to take place. Judgment, call to attention. The Magician, where is your energy? The Empress, remembering one's strength, right? One's core. Very strong, right? Very soft, and very giving, and very loving. But don't take me as a fool. Right? Very, very, I've been there type of energy. Anyway, look at this. We have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Energy of Gemini. Maybe that's why it's like twisting with my mind a little bit. Right? The Lovers. These lovers seem to be separated. Together, but separated. Like, you're never really separated, on a physical level, yes. But still together, right? It's interesting that you're not seeing each other and who each other is, especially with the Three of Pentacles right below. It's like two people who don't see each other for who they truly are. And maybe that's why the Empress and the Emperor came out, showing that, listen, maybe I'm not living in this energy, but this is truly who I am. This is who I can be. Maybe you're being asked, you're being called to be that way, and so is this Emperor. And this may be why. This is the energy of the lovers. Ultimately, this is a question of head over heart. So I definitely see the Emperor in a lot of, in his head. In his head. Ten of Cups exists. It's here, right? It's here. It just feels like, life gets in the way. But truly, this is, not seeing someone for who they are, not appreciating them for who they truly are. Geez, your cards are going to make me work today. So we have Judgment again coming over this Emperor. Some of you, this could be your father, like trying to get your attention. All right, what do we got here? We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Very seldom do I see that. Very seldom. So I'm very closed off in that energy. In that energy, I'm not feeling, don't ask me to give, because I'm not in the mood to give in that type of energy. With the Two of Cups, wow, it's a soulmate energy, which is no doubt. And then look at this with the Empress again, coming over the Two of Wands. So it's the Empress who is maybe, I feel like, prepared to walk. If nothing else, prepare to walk. Yet whatever's going on between these two, I feel like there's this true blessing down here that wants to come over the house, right? But someone's energy seems to be in reverse and not seeing, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's stopping them. Let's keep going. We have the High Priestess coming over the Eight of Swords. So they're giving no attention. The Emperor is giving no attention to the High Priestess. He's now surrounded by the High Priestess. You know, with judgment coming over him, right? That call to attention. Like, now, it's time for a new beginning, a new way of beginning. It's showing him, and I'm sorry, I feel like I've been like dumping on the Emperor this month, but it's just talking about um, who you can be and who you're being. Sorry if that insulted you. Anyway, Six of Pentacles is really when I'm thinking about me and I'm not thinking about anybody else. Um, I'm not being in my compassionate side. And, you know, maybe it is a Leo who just feels like they're in reverse. You know, maybe they're going through something of their own. I don't know. Within this Eight of Swords, because something is on their mind that is keeping them somewhat in this mental prison, I feel, and stopping them from paying attention to their intuition, and it's keeping them in a lot lower energy than, um, I don't know, than they should be. But then I feel like this Empress over here is saying, you know, even though this Two of Cups is here, so I feel like my love is here, right? My love is here. My love is with you. But I can't live this way. So there's something going on, right? So the Ten of Cups, again, exist. The blessing is coming over, or let's say is, okay, let's look at it a different way. Our self-belief system, where is it in our Ten of Cups? You know, so if we're already in these Ten of Cups, so to speak, we're in a family. Is our belief system intact? I do feel like somebody has a tendency to act out of their, let's just say, lower energy, their darker energy, however you want to say it. And maybe it affects the whole home. I don't know. I do feel that for someone. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Nine of Cups. So I do feel like this Empress is walking away. And it seems like the Ace of Wands comes over the Nine of Cups. And it's interesting how I automatically assumed it belonged to the Empress. And I guess because unless something dramatic has happened with the Emperor, I don't know how you could really be in that Nine of Cups. Because it's not selfish energy. That's energy of loving oneself first. You know, knowing my own worth. And it's, you know, it clashes with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So, but this Ace of Wands is here bringing opportunity, bringing passion, you know, into your life. So I find, you know, perhaps this Empress won't find single life, even if it's only for a time being, as a bad thing. Almost like, you know, I want it to work out. I want this to happen, but if it's not going to, this is not how I want to live my life. This is not how I wrote my script. So I have to go. I almost feel like the Empress trusts that the right things will happen to the Emperor. Without her, really, I wouldn't say without her having to do anything, but I feel like that connection is just always there. So sending energy when you feel like they need energy or what have you. Anyway. Alright, let's look at this Strength card reversed. And this is what you are trying to overcome. You are them, by the way. I feel there's more of them than you. But let's look. We have Justice. Wow. Alright, so card of Leo, first of all, can be the severing of ties, whether that be through the law or karmically or just through, energy, like this is it. So, here it is. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Wands. And then we have the Four of Cups. So simply, I feel like the Empress is saying, if she was speaking freely to this Emperor, she would say, your choices and how you choose to be, even though I know that you can be all of this, but you're not choosing to be that, I, therefore, am leaving. It has nothing to do with my love for you. It has everything to do with me pursuing the type of life that I want for myself. And I feel like it's very strong. And I really feel the Empress's trust in the universe will do the right thing for the Emperor. So maybe she is looking at it somewhat temporarily, but nonetheless, I feel like when she moves into this Nine of Cups energy, I feel like she's really going to like it. However, with the Four of Cups coming below that, I do feel like it is, soon I get bored with that. But I want to go back because we have this Ten of Wands, and it's coming over this Prince of Wands, where I feel like this Prince of Wands is coming out of energy of how do I say it, of darkness, making choices through the darkness, through the lowerness. I don't know how else to put it. But this Ten of Wands comes out over it, and I feel like potentially what it is for this Emperor is a chance. I feel two things with this, but potentially what this is for the Emperor is to see the burden he or she has placed upon maybe your shoulders. Not um, because I feel like that's coming from lower energy. Um, and I feel for the Empress what it is, and certainly it can be reversed, guys. But I feel the Empress what it is. It's like the end of carrying your burden around with me, right? I'm done carrying your burdens around me. It's not what I want. And I feel the Empress is very clear on this. It's not what I want. Not any longer. I don't think the Empress wants to stay in the Nine of Cups energy. Again, that's an independent energy, but that's a time when you're enjoying your life. But I think this Two of Cups is just there. And what I mean by that, it's like, at the back of your head, we have the Eight of Swords. I'm sorry, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is really quite beautiful energy, and eight is about a new beginning. So I do feel like there is a severing of ties between this Empress. Again, that can be any sign, and the Emperor, which can be any sign. It's the energy of them and all that they can be, right? All that they can be. They can truly be wonderful together. But there is the opposite of that, right? There just is. There is the opposite of that. And I feel like that is where someone has gone. So I feel like this Empress really, she's learned enough about herself. She trusts herself. I feel like she pays attention to the signs. That's just how she finds herself in this Nine of Cups. Um, And, what's below that? Where is your focus? Or let's say, what fulfills you in this Nine of Cups? What's you in the Eight of Pentacles? And that is you building your finances, we can say, your new career, your new craft. And I keep saying it's new, but listen, this can be something that's rooted in time. Something that I feel there's a lot of energy this month for us finding things that we're good at that we really didn't think of it. So we're being kind of nudged towards things that will fulfill us. And for some of us, it may be in the way we make money, a living. So I really like that energy. The Eight of Pentacles, again, it's the beginning, right? So I know, at least I know enough. I know enough. And it's just saying, if I keep my focus there, it's guaranteed to grow. I feel like, by the time you move from the Eight of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles, you are the master of that craft now. So, this Empress is like, I feel this whole other part of me, and I feel called to it. We have the Ace of Swords. So it may be in something in how the Empress, her voice, and maybe her voice, goes around maybe the world. So you may be starting something like in some type of communication. Interesting. All right, let's take one or two more after that, and then we have the Two of Swords, and we have the Three of Swords. It's interesting these two cards came out, because it's a dark energy, right? You can just look at the card and see it's gray. It's um, stormy. But one talks about heartbreak, right? And the other one talks about decision, making a decision. But ultimately, you can see that she has a blindfold on. So first of all, there's something I don't want to see. And this can certainly be the Emperor. Boy, do I feel like I'm just telling each side's story. So maybe both of you will be here and you both get this perspective of the other. I don't know. But it shows the heartache, and I'm not sure why they chose to come out together like that. So I'm going to take... Oh, because I got the Lovers over there. I have the Moon. And I'm just realizing I have the Lovers over here. But I also have the Hangman. We Pisces and Gemini, I don't want to say side by side, but connected. The Three of Cups. So this could certainly talk about cheating, or at least feeling like maybe they did. Two Swords, I don't know. The Moon, I don't know. They both don't seem to want to reveal what the truth is, right? But nonetheless, it feels the same, whether I have the facts in front of me or I just feel it. I feel like this is more for the Empress. And again, I'm sorry if you're the Emperor and it feels like I'm hammering on you. I'm not, because I'm just not. Interesting. Did we look underneath the Lovers? Yeah, we had the Three of Pentacles. The Hangman, we have the Death card underneath that. Could be a Scorpio, but that's the energy of Death card is about resistance. You know, am I putting resistance up against like something that needs to end? Because within the death card, I don't have to fear it. It says don't resist me. Um, you know, you go into better places. It's going to be better. So I like that it's there anyway. Okay, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to look at here? You know, so I have the Empress, interesting enough, um, next to the Magician with the Two of Cups below her. You know, and I have to say, I feel like there is also an Empress out there who feels guided by maybe her mom. I feel like Spirit, that this may be the way I need to go. I feel that like you're really very trusting with universal energy right now with your intuition. And it's taking you right where you want to go. So keep that trust in yourself. And I do feel like it's spirit helping you, you know, helping to, you know, like I say that when people come to one of these readings and maybe you don't have any Virgo in your chart, you know, don't beat yourself up. Just trust that, okay, well, for some reason, my guides, those who love me unconditionally and would only send me good, right, would only send me love, um, you know, they're just trying to help, but you have free will. So ultimately, you get to do whatever you want to do. But I do feel like, I do feel you're being guided. I feel both are being, well, we're all being guided, no doubt. But I feel like the Emperor's like, boom, he's got judgment right on top of him. Like, boom, look at the way you are. Look what's going on, right? Ultimately, it has to be up to him or her. But they're definitely operating in their heads. So maybe if I want to talk to them, that's how I talk to them. I don't know. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. It just feels incomplete for some reason. I think what I want to do, I mean, part of it feels very complete. I feel like there's something else that wants to come out that's not coming out. Or I'm not picking up on it. Let's put it that way. So I think what I want to do is I want to look at the Emperor and the Empress just on their own. We'll just take a moment. There, Emperor, I just turned the card around for you. We'll leave that there. All right. All right. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Cosmic Tarot. And I just want to see if there's anything else that wants to come out. These two people are the subject of the story, no doubt. One is creating and one is not. Look at that, 2 of Cups again. We have the 8 of Cups. It's like, what the hell did I do? How the hell did I knock all those cups down and I didn't even know it? I feel like that's what he's saying to himself. Like, look at the mess I made of my life. I feel like someone is being hard on themselves. You know, almost a bit of self-pity. But there's a lot of cups that remain. So the Eight of Cups, it's like being put in the emotional house. And maybe he's just not loving it, he or she. We have the Queen of Cups. I feel like it's talking about the one queen that stands out, right? Maybe this person has a habitual habit of ruining relationships, like leaves trails, I don't know. I almost feel like, but that's his problem, right? He's got to figure that out. But nonetheless, I do feel like the Queen of Cups is representing you, or the other way around. And I'm saying that because the Queen of Cups is the queen that is open, right? Open to love. Look at that. There's the Emperor again. I almost feel like I'm about to hear what the Empress thinks about the Emperor. So, again, we have the Five of Pentacles. Pretty clear, right? Pretty clear. Here's the Empress, the Emperor, and the energy of the Five of Pentacles. So, you know, I feel like it's something that's coming to an end. I feel like, again, I do feel directed by the Empress. She seems to be at the head of the table, right? I have the Emperor over here. But nonetheless, she's directly thinking about the Empress and leaving. Not the Empress, but the Emperor and leaving. Where the Emperor is over here in the Eight of Cups of in my emotional house. But listen, I don't have it together here. You know, if you ask me why these cups are knocked over, I can't give you a definite answer because I don't know, right? This is the energy of, he has to make a choice. Am I willing to reflect upon those cups? Now, we already know that, but it will be in their own time, period. But nonetheless, here he is. Here you are, Five of Pentacles. I knew I felt some of you leaving. And by the way, when you leave, when you're in the energy of the Five of Pentacles, you're on the way to, you're on the road to lovely people, soulmate people. And I'm not, it can be love. I'm not talking about it. I feel like this is kind of soulmate, to be honest, or even twin flamish. But what I'm talking about is just people around you. How things just seem to start kind of happen for you. It's in a positive way, right? Let's keep going. We have the Seven of Cups. So we have the Seven of Cups under the Eight of Cups for the Emperor. With the King of Swords. You know, it's almost like he's making no sense. We have the King of Pentacles, oh boy, over here with the Empress. There may be someone else involved for the Empress. And I feel like the Emperor, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm the Empress and the Empress trying to talk to me, it's just nonsense. It feels like nonsense to me. However that means to you, but I feel like what he's saying to me is nonsense. Maybe he's drunk. I don't know. I almost see why this is happening. And I think you do too. You know, and I feel like the Emperor, listen, he's still the Emperor. He just needs to get back to himself. And I'm saying him, it can be her. This is the masculine energy, right? This is, I'm being aggressive, the aggressive energy. The Empress is more nurturing type energy, and but they are the power couple, and they keep showing up together. And look at this, with the Princess of Swords. So this Princess of Swords, she's learning her own words here. She's gaining her own voice. Her voice is sitting next to this King of Pentacles. This may be an opportunity for the Empress to create something, and it is based within your own voice, whether it be your own story, whatever it is. I don't like to put any limits on it, but Five of Pentacles, you do have to make a buck. That's kind of what I feel in the Five of Pentacles, like I gotta make a buck. But I feel like you can be very creative, and I feel it may be about the journey. All right, let's take. Oh, what time is it? Oh, we're still under an hour. Good. I'm going to take one or two cards over each square. Well, thank you. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Prince of Swords. This may be an emperor who tries to come back too soon. And, what I feel is, in a way, this emperor's feeling, what they know is you are special. They know that. Doesn't mean they're acting that way. But I feel like, their soul knows that. They know that the importance of you in their life. But that still, doesn't mean they're going to act through that way. Each their own. I don't know what to say. All I do know what to say is I feel like, again, the Emperor trying to talk to the Empress, but something he may say is, we're meant to be. And that may be so. And maybe you will be. And I kind of feel, well, let's take the other two cards. I kind of feel like this is energy that will come back around. But I feel like this Empress is on a roll. May not feel that comfortable right now. But I just feel like your voice is important. Like, your voice is so important. Okay, we have the Wheel. We have the Three of Cups. Interesting. And then we have the Two of Cups. So I kind of feel like this Empress, her eye is also to this King of Pentacles. That is interesting. But the wheel's also over the Emperor. So I feel like I have somebody here trying to figure out which one. And right now, I feel like you are going the track of outside of this. And listen, it may be because of all this. But I do find that, like I said, you're finding soulmates. This may even be like after you leave, like boom, two of cups. Listen, that's soulmate energy. We have more than one soulmate. And here's this King of Pentacles. He's part of your destined path. Whatever he brings to the picture. But the one thing it's saying is, you have control over this, right? Because, in a way, you're speaking of it. I don't know. I want to take, I know I keep saying I'm going to end your reading. But I want to look at that Two of Cups a little closer for this Empress. I get exactly what the Emperor is doing. And I get the whole growth period and all that, but I feel like that's something individual, right? He's got to do himself, he or she. And I feel like the Empress is like starting to realize that, like, shit, I'm not going to change that. Therefore, I shouldn't put off this. I shouldn't put off my growth type of energy. Princess of Cups. Interesting. So, I have to say, there's an Empress out there. I do feel like you end up in another relationship. And wherever it goes, but I do feel you feel good in it. It makes you feel good. I feel like I'm like so curious. I have the Two of Pentacles, and then I have the King of Wands. So the one thing I like here, Two of Pentacles, it puts you in control, right? You're making sound decisions here. And you may be, Two of Pentacles. Sometimes they call it trying to juggle, right? The juggler. So some of you are juggling two people. But I feel like ultimately it's about making a decision. And I feel like it just really what I feel like is just follow your intuition, listen to the signs. Some of you are going to come back together. I feel like you know who you are. And I feel like there's a few of you who are leaving because, I'm not going to stay and put up with that energy when there are things I want in my life. And I feel like you kind of trust the universe will do what they have to do with this emperor, and whenever the time is, the time will be type thing. But in the meantime, you are moving on up type energy. And I do feel like there's some of you who are currently in a relationship, and you are, you have or you're in a threesome. And it's interesting because I feel like you feel that this person is also, and it's maybe somebody you work with, I don't know, but you kind of feel like they may be a soulmate, and they may be, um, because it's all about what you want anyway. Anyway, I think I'm going to let it go right there because maybe I'm not meant to know any more than that, because I'm not meant to influence you, right? I'm not meant to influence your own decision. So I'm going to leave it there. Guys, I love you so much. As always, thank you for the beautiful support of my channel, your beautiful comments. I truly, truly appreciate it. Your subscribes, your likes, you paying attention, like you seeing that notification. Well, I know that you'll be, if you're meant to see it, you'll see it when you see it. So I really don't put expectation there. Like, oh, they're going to watch it as soon as they get the notification. I just let that go. Like, I just know the right people will come at the right time, and that's just that. And I let that just be. So, anyway, I always love reading for you, fellow Virgo. Someone's at my door, so I'll see you next time. Bye bye.